Chris, thanks for coming on.
Oh, you're welcome, man.
Because I don't know if you watched my video earlier about the
No, I didn't get a chance lately, man. I had a lot of things going on early, so I
like
am gonna look into it because you do make really good points about this.
because I highlighted four umpires that kind of caught my eye when it comes to bad calls.
Mm-hmm.
Two of them are kind of most notable. Angel Hernandez is one of them, and Marvin Hudson. Hey, my buddy, big play Slay's in the chat. What's going on? Not much Slay, but yeah, I mean, yeah, because I want to try to at least follow up on what's the big issue about with the calls recently.
Mm-hmm.
Because I follow an account called Umpire Scorecards. I don't know if you follow that one as
Yes.
well.
Yeah, dude. I see. They actually rate them pretty damn good on there, to be honest.
I because the first guy I wanted to talk about was Hunter Wendelstead in the Phillies game one of the Phillies and Braves 12-2 win.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and I have, I gotta go I have it on my, have it on my phone. Nope, that's wrist. Like, because my idea was when I made that video, I feel like because the average is about 94% when it comes to umpires, and I'm thinking because 88 for me, I feel like it's below average. Despite it's in the high 80s. I don't know if that. But it's like I'm looking at the missed calls he had. It's like I'm looking at two in the top right corner. No, top. Yeah, because it was like it clipped the corner, but it was called a ball. That was in that, and I mentioned like from the top of the shoulders to the bottom of the knees is the true strike zone, as it's known, and it's right there on the borderline on the black, and it's called a ball. It's like I'm thinking to myself, what? I was like, because I'm taking it for personal experience. Like I had some issues with umpires personally. Well, in my personal time, but that's like. I was like, man, like. Then
again, what though? What though? When I started playing baseball, I was initially an outfielder when I was little, and then they made me the transition. I was a Husky player, so they made me into a catcher, obviously. But when I was catching, I always went with the letter high.
So about here, but
like chest high.
So about right about here, like right where my mic is set up, basically.
Yeah. So letter high and then down to the shins. That was basically the strike zone that I would go for. Now, it would just depend on the batter, and you look at the batter and their stance, and sometimes you can go for that high fastball. And honestly, I don't know if you ever experienced it. I don't know if you played it as a catcher sometimes.
Don't get me. That's the only position I will never play again. Number one, it hurts my knees. Yeah. Number two, I sweat a lot during the damn summertime.
Oh, dude, I hated the pitcher whenever they couldn't get a fucking out because I'm drenched in sweat.
Are you kidding? And like I sweat so much. It's like because I'm playing. I've been doing this for 10+ years now. I'm still going at it, and I'm 24. So, and I'm a pitcher myself. So. And last game, I got so frustrated because I was getting so squeezed on some of the pitches. Like it was right on the black. It's like it's called a ball site, and I'm looking at the umpires. Like try my best not to show them up because I have a tendency, and I've been this close, been thrown out a couple of times in my career.
Yeah,
it's like
you know what though, I made the transition from catcher to pitcher. When after high school, I got picked up by a team in Mexico. I played down there for a bit with some friends, and I would be a reliever. So whenever a pitcher was struggling with the umpire, the first thing I did, man, I already knew the umpire was being an asshole. First thing I did was walk in there. I'm like, hey, how you doing, Blue? How's it going? How's your day going? I was a kiss ass, man. And they called me the umpire whisperer because as soon as I went on the mound, I started getting strikes that they weren't
exactly. Getting. And that's the thing. That's what I want to, because the four guys, Hunter Wendelstead, Joe West, Angel Hernandez, and Marvin Hudson are the guys I have highlighted.
Yeah.
That I kind of caught my eye. We all knew how bad Angel Hernandez and Joe West has been over the last.
Oh, dude, Joe West has been fucking up games since the 80s.
Exactly. And look, he may be fucking up games, but you got to think too. Like he's been doing. I mean, dude's a decent umpire for the last
Yeah.
30 plus years now.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, like you just at least put him in the Hall of Fame with the rest of the umpires of how many games he's called.
Now that's going to be the controversial part because if you're gonna, the last umpire that went in, it was Doug Harvey, and I don't know if you know anything about him.
No, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research on Doug Harvey,
dude. The only reason I know is because whenever I was off of school, MLB Network had that Prime 9 show a couple years back, so they would showcase some of the stuff and. You can see Doug. He was respected by all the players. That's how much I can tell you. He was a good umpire.
And that's the thing too. The only thing is because, and I mentioned this in my video towards us Phillies fans. We all knew what Joe West did, especially towards us in 2014 when we had Papelbon back in the day.
Yeah,
I was like, oh man, that's not a good look. Because first of all, number one, umpires should never lay their hands on a player. Because I feel like that's kind of like.
And then Papelbon's also an aggressive player.
Actually, that does make perfect sense too. Like,
yeah.
Well, like I said, Wendelstedt was. See, that's the thing too. Like, I don't know where I stand with Hunter Wendelstedt of how he's doing. Because I mentioned, Wendelstedt's been here since 1998, so he's the more recent ones in the last. Because like somebody like Joe West, on the other hand, he's kind of
old school.
Old school, like blowing games since the 80s.
Yeah.
Because the only good funny moment that I still remember, and I'm a late 90s kid, so because I watched on YouTube is when him checking Jay Howell's glove for pine tar. That's the only good. That's the funny moment that I remember for Joe West.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just like as a pitcher, I was like, it hurts me. It's like it hurts me. You're getting most even. And this is like the big leagues. Like you cannot get that shit wrong.
Yeah, well, here talking about wrong calls, man. Did you in 2010 Jim Joyce?
Oh, don't get me started on him.
Last fucking out. First
of all, like he was
screwed up a perfect game.
Yeah, for Galarraga, it's like, are you serious? Like he was about at least about like a foot.
Oh, he was like a foot and a half off. That's the problem. And you know what's the fucked up part is the very next game, Galarraga went over there and gave him the lineup for the game, and Jim Joyce just broke down. He's like, hey, you know what? Like I reviewed it, and I fucked up. I fucked up the call, and then you can't go back and change that. That's the sad part.
And that's people are going to hate you for that for the rest. But still, like the fact that he actually, and sometimes umpires won't own up to that, and that's why I respect Jim Joyce for what he may screwed that up. But he told Galarraga to his face, "Look, I fucked up.
No,
and that's my fault. Like I'll take the heat."
Yeah,
basically.
Well, he went on an MLB Network and apologized to the people too. He was like, "I misjudged the call," and I guarantee you that was one of the first steps into video review.
Really? So I'm guessing that was the first start of replay. I'm assuming is from what you're telling me.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing because after that's when that started getting into talks like, hey, we should do this like the NFL does.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing too. It's like even though that's going to be like a whole nother video idea. Is how screwy the replay system is now.
Did you see the recent one that like it? Now I think I ranted about it a couple weeks ago. It was like it wasn't now the umpires because they went off and reviewed it. They did their job. New York fucked up that call.
And look, it's not the on-field umpires. It's and I had to tell the Braves fans were salty about this when I don't know if you saw that game between the Braves and the Phil.
Which one? Yesterday's game?
No, when this was like earlier when they were in Atlanta the first time. Alec Bohm slid into home.
Oh yes.
And my thought is, and I think to myself, I have a feeling that the blocking rule could have at least been called because it looked like it didn't take him into the pathway.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he was blocking a good amount of the play, but also, I mean, now the review, he did. I want to say he didn't touch the home plate.
And no, he didn't.
Yeah, no, he didn't touch home plate, and they reviewed it, and I guess they went off. I'm guessing the call was that he was just covering too much of the. Yeah. So, But I
But then
mean,
again, I think also a factor in the well, I guess you could call it the Buster Posey rule.
that
To
also
some,
comes into play.
that's what I'm thinking too. It's just like, and look, I mean, he was because that's the thing too. Like, I say he was out, and I'm a diehard Phillies fan compared to everybody else here. And the only and
If
we
you
tend
call
to.
yourself a diehard Philly fan, why you got a World Series flag from the Cubs back there?
Oh, actually, that's a funny story because the Phillies were so bad in 2016, it was not even funny. And because look, and also I love the Cubs, and I feel bad for their fans for the last at least century over a
100
century.
years, 110
Yeah,
years.
like 106. It's like, dude, like I mean, I had to at least show and I have a World Series shirt. It's like I like to show appreciation.
Yeah,
And look, I love the Phillies, but I'm a because the Phillies is the
you're a
only team that
baseball fan.
yeah, I'm a casual fan, and people still give me shit. And this is from back then, I actually grew up a Yankees fan too, and still people gave me a little bit of shit for that. I was
Yeah,
like, because I grew up in the era where they were like the super team of the '90s.
yeah,
You had Jeter, you had Mo Rivera. Because Jeter and Mo Rivera were my two guys,
yeah.
hands down. But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
Jeter, Rivera,
got
Hideki
Posada.
Matsui, Jason Giambi, Posada, Andy Pettit. Dude, you can go on
You
and
can go
on and on
on.
with that team.
Exactly. Now, as I say, I can't look them at the same anymore.
Oh, dude, the Yankees are struggling bad. And I mean, they're picking it up a bit now, but
Ugh.
man,
Another
it's.
team that I might jump the bandwagon on is the Padres, just
Oh,
because of
dude,
top.
I'm from San Diego now.
No,
Yeah,
really.
I'm from San Diego now. I just
So
moved
what?
out.
So here's my question: what's it like out there on the West Coast?
All right, so I moved away from California in 2018, but you know what? I got to see Tony Gwynn play, Phil Nevin, Ryan Klesko.
Oh, you're talking about the old
I,
Padres.
I got to see that team play, and I got to see the I got to see the Padres when they were good. I got to see the Padres when they were bad. I did not get to see the Padres right now. And I hated it, dude, because I would have loved it. I remember in 2014, they went out and bought players, and it just didn't work out for the 2014 All-Star game. And it just didn't work out for them. So it kind of was upsetting to see that. But I mean, going to now San Diego is a good. It's not a really good fan base because you don't have that many teams out there. So the Padres really had to capitalize since the Chargers moved to LA. That's the only professional team San Diego has.
And and I talked to a lot of Phillies fans too. I think they can overthrow the Dodgers, and
Oh yeah,
because like nothing to mention the fact because my buddy Tyler, who's handicapped, because he and I played the show 21. The
Mhm.
night that he played Diamond Dynasty, he pulls a diamond card of Fernando Tatis Jr. and say, "You lucky bastard." I was like, I've been trying, and ever since the show came out, I was like, I'd rather get my hands on it because I didn't start playing the show till the show 16 came out.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I kind of took a break from the baseball hiatus because after 2K11, that's when I stopped.
Yeah,
That's like, ugh. I said, I mean, I got to get back into it.
yeah.
But other than that, I mean, I feel there's a few things that the major leagues needs to address. Have a better replay system because like every time when they slow down, it's so grainy that you can't even see it.
Yeah. Well, and
That's
then
my,
also the same play that the umpires in New York are seeing are getting reviewed on the jumbotron, and you can hear it on the fan base. They're like, "Oh, it's safe. Oh, it's
yeah,
out."
because you can hear the feedback.
Yeah, and yet you still call the damn fucking play wrong. It's like
Exactly.
goddamn.
And then umpires, I know we had tend to shed on them because like yeah, like it's human error. We're human. We make
Yeah.
mistakes. But if you're like take Joe West, like you've been doing that for as long as he has, like you better just hang it up. Same with it and God, I remember a point in time when Adrian Hernandez was getting really hated on. I think it
Oh,
was like
dude.
I think it was like a couple years ago.
Well, I mean, I guarantee you now, like if you mention like, oh, what umpire do you think is the worst one? It's either Joe West or Angel Hernandez. It's just, Angel Hernandez was trending before the season even
I
started.
saw that on Twitter. It's like holy shit. Another God, one umpire that I've liked is Tom Payne. I think I had Tom Payne was like one of those guys that's like with the Pittsburgh series when I heard his story on the literally the local news for Pittsburgh. how he saved a suicidal one. It's like, well, I'll be fucking damned.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, okay, you know what? See, that's the thing too. Like sometimes, and
sometimes we forget that these guys are still people.
Yeah, exactly.
So you hate them for their profession, but I mean, they can be like
outside of that, where there's just normal people like us.
Yeah.
But they're getting paid like millions on millions.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah,
also,
I mean,
also what I wanted to bring up too is like as when I used to catch, it's also like when the pitcher throws the ball and you're catching it, it's a blink of an eye. So if you catch and you close your eyes, the umpire may be going through the same shit. So I mean, if he closes his eyes and the catcher moves that ball,
yeah,
you're getting that call regardless. It happened to right now. We were mentioning the Padres when the Padres played the Giants in the not this series but the one before down in San Diego. Mark Melancon punched out Wilmer Flores on 3 straight balls outside.
I saw it. Yeah, I've actually I think I saw that, and it's like, you know, like what like. I was like, oh,
yeah,
like,
dude.
It pains me, and that's the thing too. And I have a feeling. And another point that kind of popped in my head is like certain catchers can't steal strikes, whether it's outside, if it's like say like a few inches outside the zone. Take Yachty for example, like he's very notorious for stealing strikes. That's kind of what my other thinking was, is like maybe some catchers are stealing strikes to the fact that where they might get the benefit.
You may
of the doubt.
get lucky. Yeah. I mean, it also just depends on also the catcher stands and how they move and how they can square off, because the way they taught us is like I can use the 2 catchers for the Yankees right now, Gary Sanchez and I forgot the other guy.
Is it Hishioka?
Something like that. And Hishioka, what he does is he basically squats straight
like a traditional
squat. So what that does is that gives you a little good frame as to a pitcher to get a good call, and also you can maneuver your body as to how to move the strike zone. So you're stealing strikes.
Exactly. That's kind of where my thought process is like, because I'm thinking, you know, maybe Gary Sanchez, even though he's on one knee, he has the ability to use his hands to steal strikes.
Yeah, but even then, if he's on one knee, he can't shift his whole body to get that strike zone like Ishioka does. So that's something that they always taught us. If you're going to try to call an inside pitch, you want to move your whole body that way so you still get that squared, and you can kind of block the view from the umpire.
Yeah, fill that true strike zone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's you know, it's been kind of like, and that's the thing too, is like, it's like maybe I'll try something new on my channel. You know, and I, you know, think to myself, and the light bulb just went off. Yeah, why not talk about the umpires? Because that's been kind of like a hot topic in the last handful of weeks.
Yeah, definitely. Especially, did you see I want to say it was the Dodger Brewers game?
Oh, nice.
They called that. No, I know it was the Brewers against some team.
I can't remember the other team because to be honest, I really don't pay attention to Brewers because you've been giving up grand slams left and right.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is going on? Nothing to mention the fact, because when the Phillies played them at the bank, when Christian Yelich returns from the IL, he goes right back to the IL after that. Yeah. It's like, man, what is going on?
Yeah, dude, but that call at first base, I mean, that pitcher's interference, I'm like, he did not get off the call. And then you have the call with the Phillies as well. It was the McCutchen getting off the baseline.
Oh, thank you for reminding me. That was another one I've been trying to. It's like, first of all, you're going at a straight goddamn line. Like, how do you call him out of the
That's the whole point. Like, even when you're running in the baseline, you get 3 feet to the left, 3 feet to the right, and then you pave your own damn line. Exactly. McCutchen didn't move out of his line.
And the funny thing is, and I've seen, you know, the Mets now. It's like, and you know, they're getting pissed off too. It's like, what are you calling that for? That's like, I was like, okay. And to be honest, like I hate the Mets with every fiber it might be, because up here, because where we're at, we tend to overreact to everything. Whether it's the Flyers, the Phillies, the Sixers, the Eagles. Well, that's a whole nother thing. Flyers is going to be it's the one thing people are going to be shitting on. But yeah, but back to what that's another thing. It says like and things that, and even when we have freaking like Amazon Web Services just showing how far or the path that he took to second base. It's like
Yeah, they showed the line to the straight line. I'm like, this guy just shifted his body like to get out of the tag, and he just called him out. I was like, wow.
oh my god.
Yeah, dude. Hey, you know what though? I do want to mention something. Wendelston,
Yeah.
he was playing. He was umpiring in second base yesterday's game. Dude, this guy, even though he's made some shitty calls, I'll tell you this though, he can do it. He can call those shitty calls with some style. This fucker was wearing Jordan 11s on the Phillies Braves game, man.
It's like, and that's the thing too. It's I've never noticed that.
Yeah, I was following some other page and they zoomed in and this guy's wearing Jordan 11s. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll give you some slack.
Okay, so we'll take some slack off of that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like it's something, even and I have a whole like a circle of Phillies content creators. Like we are kind of agreeing on the same thing. It's like something needs to change with the rules a little bit, and this brings me to the John Means no quote should have been the perfect game. The catcher having that kind of what irritated me. So, dude, I mean, look, he got a no hitter for Baltimore, but I don't know why people are. See, I don't know when that drop third strike rule was implemented because people are really starting to question that.
Yeah,
especially Baltimore.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up that all the no hitters that have been thrown this year, they have none of them walked the player.
Wow,
none of them. They're all been hit by pitch or the pass ball, the wild pitch, strikeout, stuff like that. It's like it's upsetting. Now, right now that you mentioned the John Means game, I mentioned this in my latest episode with one of the guests that I had. Should have Madison's Bumgarner, should that have been called a no hitter?
Oh, and that's like I don't know because see that's tough. That's a tough way to call it. It's like because we play we have because I play in a men's league. Our double headers are 7 innings, so we're familiar with that territory. But it's like I don't know. Like it's tough.
I mean, it's an official game.
It is, but it's like that, and that's the thing too. I'm thinking to myself, it should be official because number one, like say if it gets rained out, like you can't do that outside.
He can't control that. They changed the 9-inning game into a 7-inning game.
Exactly.
But also the other thing that I was arguing is that's fine. You don't want to consider it a 9-inning no hitter. You can still consider it a 7-inning no hitter. A little asterisk, and then write the reason why there's an asterisk there. It was like, oh, we implemented 7-inning doubleheader games this year, so
and that's the thing too. Like, and this is the rule. I think that this needs to get the axe is the runner on second base, and the reason why I think it's like number one, as a pitcher, that's a lot more pressure than with no runners on. Even as a hitter, like what are you thinking? Because you're stressing yourself to the point where, like, you're gonna one little mistake, you're gonna fuck up. That's
and that's the whole point of having that to speed it up and stuff. But I mean, if you play small ball, regardless of who's up to bat, it takes three to four tries to get that runner in. What do you do? First batter up, bunt the damn fucking ball.
Exactly.
You get that runner at third base.
Exactly, because like in certain games that I play, like we kind of fell that the philosophy because like I could bunt because I've been like I said, I've been doing this for 10+ years and I've worked a lot to get the perfect bunt down. Yeah. And I'm not a fast runner by any stretch of the means. Like I've never was. Like even when I played Little League when I was at 98 pounds, I was still slow as shit. Like it was just sad because spring was like because that was the only tool I never had because everything else I had I'm basically a four tool player in terms of playing the game. But yeah, the runner on second base, I think that should at least get the X. For me, I was in favor of the universal DH.
Yeah, I was hoping that would happen this year.
because I've seen pitchers get hurt with it, especially in their shoulder area. Like I think it was either Degrom or somebody else. Because I saw someone get. I think it was Degrom. He got taken out because of shoulder discomfort. It's like
Yeah, he's actually they put him back in the 10-day
IL.
IL today for shoulder stiffness.
That's like man, and that's the thing too. I made a pitcher free agent video and he's going to be because I know he's not going to be a free agent anytime soon, but he does have and I think next couple of years he's got to have he has like an opt out in the next couple of years.
DeGrom?
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe the Yankees pick him up.
I don't know because with us it's like it's either it's because for us we have a lot of holes we still got to fill. Number one, like, we brought in Anderson and Matt Moore, and I'm kind of eating my words about that when I made those 2 videos on those 2. But yeah, I mean when I saw Matt Moore in the bullpen, it's like okay, so I'd rather have him than. And there was a few, and because there was a few guys I want to get out of Philly. It was Hector Neris was one of them, and I can't. The reason why Hector Neris it reminds me when Nintendo Bastardo was here in Philly's Pinstripes. It was just so stressful to watch him. It's like, see, and I don't know. It's like I like to ramble on. It's like, oh, we got, and it's funny to see. And look, and with that the call that went against us in favor of us. Yeah, I told Braves fans, look, like there's none of us we can do about it. You know, people in New York fucked it up.
Yeah,
like that's the thing too. It's like as I number one, but then again, and well, there's a few that got into a little bit of heated debate. So yeah, I said I'm done. I'm done with you. You know, and basically in polite terms because, but yeah, I mean, some Braves fans say, yeah, I think, and ironic is, like some Braves fans kind of would blame their catcher because of the Buster Posey rule, because it like taken for like if it's in a straight line, take him into the pathway, then yeah, I can understand. You could probably make that argument that it was taken into the base path.
Yeah,
but it just like he was already blocking the plate to begin with, like
majority of the plate too. So.
Oh, Lindy, what up? Yeah, Lindy is one of my other buddies that he's pretty much an Eagles content creator. So, because with us, like we have a huge circle of a lot of people. Because it's like nowadays, it's like how often do you find a huge circle of like certain sports creators in a certain area?
Yeah,
like for us, it's like Philly. We're kind of well, and. Don't get me wrong, we are always hated by the national media, and I don't know why. Like, and that's this is the funny thing I've been telling the people, is like, and it still blows my mind. Like 2017 with the Eagles, when they before the Super Bowl, it's like, oh, they're not going to make it. We start out slow, wind up finishing 13-3, winning the Super Bowl, and it's like, who do you hate? And the kind of just telling statements, and the saying, how do you hate it? How do you like us now? Like in terms.
Didn't they blow the Super Bowl at the last quarter?
That was
no, that was the Seahawks. My bad.
That was the Seahawks. Don't get me started with that one. I was like, you had Marshawn Lynch, like, oh my god, and I've never seen my grandmother get pissed, and she's a Giants fan of all people, because all of us were watching it. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
well, yeah,
I
mean,
that was a bad play.
But still, I still love it to shit on the Falcons fans because they're becoming like a huge meme. Because I saw a few people make T-shirts like saying was it 28-3? I forgot what the meme was.
Yeah, it was the
28-3. I think it was.
It was the each quarter score and how they.
Yeah, it's like man.
Yeah.
Lindy says food for thought. Him, I'm a Braves and a Mavericks fan as well.
Hey man, so I can't complain because I'm a Raiders fan. So
that's the thing too. I don't know. See, I don't know what the Raiders' expectations.
I don't know either, man.
And
I mean, they wanted the whole crap that's going on right now with Aaron Rodgers, and then some of the Raider fans. I mean, I follow some of the pages, and they're like, "Oh, we got to trade Derek Carr for. I'm like, no, we don't.
No, because and recently like Derek Carr. I mean, people think Derek Carr is like trash. Is like no. I mean, he's an okay quarterback.
Dude, he's one of the top 3 quarterbacks in
Yeah,
NFL
which is surprising. Like people will still.
They still shit on him.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why they shit on him is because the Raiders can't win games. I was like, okay, well, he can't fucking win games if the other team scores more than we do.
Exactly. Not to
So
mention
that's a defense problem.
Like Carr can't do it by himself.
Exactly.
And it was the same with us. Well, that's a whole nother thing.
That's a whole other sport.
no, it's a whole separate issue when it comes to the quarterback position.
Mm-hmm.
It's like over here, like with the Eagles and the West drama that was been going on for a while. It's like, God damn, it feels like I'm watching a bad soap opera going through like a divorce account or whatever the situation. It's like, can we just move on already? That's where my mind was going. It's like, I'm tired of seeing it.
Yeah.
But recently, the only team I've been really paying attention to was the 76ers. And let me tell you, like over the years, it's like, yeah, I've gone through the process era, and I didn't start watching these guys till the AI era. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so I'm kind of not say dating myself, but kind of that's when I start becoming a fan of the 76ers. It's like, I mean, I've been through some tough times. It's like, yeesh. But nowadays it's like, because tomorrow I'm gonna have I'm gonna be with my buddy Mitch. He's also another content creator, but he only does he does like football and basketball. Where's his major ones. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean,
golf. I have a golf podcast too.
Really?
Fuck no.
I was about to say speaking of golf, my buddy Phil Seifel on, because he has the All About the Birds Twitter account, and it says he also does for golf site. Like I'm gonna pick, and that's the thing too. Like if I ever get bored in later in my life, and I've actually played golf before, and that was my great grandfather. Try to get into it. It's like, like if I get old, if I need like a retirement sport, golf will be the one of it.
Yeah,
because I find it fun.
You can play it and drink with it too.
Exactly, my thing exactly. But yeah, I mean, it's like I'm just doing because for me, because look, and that's the thing too. Like it's hard because before all this, like and my buddy Tyler, he has a wrestling podcast that me and my buddy Brandon Lapp, who lives in Arizona, we're all big wrestling fans. Mm-hmm. And I let my buddy Tyler and my buddy Brandon borrow my Peacock so we can watch old
WrestleMania and stuff like that.
Yeah, like God, for me, and it's just kind of like, and I triggered some people. Like I was a WCW kid growing up during the Monday Night Wars.
Monday Night Wars.
And to be honest, that was like the great, even the Attitude Era, and I enjoyed for what it was.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it is what it is. As a kid, you never thought too much of it.
Yeah, until now you look at it and you're like,
oh. Yeah. That's right. That's because for me, since WWE was going down the toilet, for me, I'm becoming an AEW guy. Mm-hmm. Always had, even when their YouTube series, I haven't really caught up on it because the last time I ever watched it was I think their third episode of AEW Dark. Eesh. But yeah, I mean, also I'm a huge gamer. Like I mentioned. Yeah, so that's the thing too. Like, there's a lot of things people really don't know about me because I'm a huge anime nerd for one. Mm-hmm. That's like, and people look at me like I'm crazy. It's like, hey, look, I'm reading I'm already done with My Hero after done with season 5 of My Hero. I'm reading 96 episodes of the original Dragon Ball Z. It's like, yeah, I mean, I got nothing else better to do with my life. And before all this, it's like, my buddy Tyler told me, I should get into podcasting. It's like, why not?
So I got that time.
Yeah, like I had some time on my hands, so I was like, yeah, why not? Give it a try. I got
one more question for you, man.
What's up?
Now that we're getting into going into the future years is going in with that, do you think baseball will implement what the minor leagues are doing with the actual video calling of the strike zone?
Ooh,
because I know it's getting implemented in the minor, and I think it's single A or double A.
I think it's even the Atlantic leagues are now getting into and being a part of it.
Yeah,
I think, as much as as stupid as it sounds, like I think I would like to see an experiment. I mean, at least it'll keep the fans, from bitching and.
Yeah.
I think, and that's the thing too. Another lost starter that I think baseball that's become a loss in baseball is the stolen bases.
Yeah.
That's another thing too. It's like, I mean, I'm all for that because, like, I feel like it's good. It's a pretty neat. I mean, it has God. I mean, I feel like the American and God, this one because I remember the stolen bases was kind of like a lost art in the American League when John Lester was still there. When he was with when the broadcaster was talking about during the Cubs playoff run, how much like he didn't like want to throw over because it was like a lost art.
Yeah, I mean, and also he's also a lefty, so he's like he knows how he can keep them close if he wants to. So it goes back to what every time a series starts, they analyze a pitcher and what they go. I'm pretty sure that they know they're going against the lefty, and they know that more of the times they won't be able to steal off of him because the left-hander has that ability to see like, oh, he's going, I can just go straight to first base.
Exactly.
But it also goes to how far your leg can go forward and how far is
they say it's about like 45
base.
degrees because like with somebody's they're like going up and going like straight ahead. It's like because it's kind of in between. It's like could it be like it's like oh that's tough. It's like it'd either be a pickup or a block because with some like Urias for example, Julio Urias from the Dodgers and the way that he throws over, it's like how do you,
it's close to it.
How can you not call a balk on that because it's like in that range. That's my thing.
Well, and also some of the left-handers now, some of them, I'm not saying all of them, do that flamingo pause, and they'll just stay there for a bit and then go home. So, I mean, all that little shit will throw off a runner, and unless you're Billy Hamilton or you have that type of speed, you're going to go for it.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing, too. Like, I feel like Billy Hamilton has been he's been done dirty by some teams over the last handful of years.
Yeah.
Because it's like how often because nowadays it's like you don't see like I think God who else because I'm thinking the only other guy I can think of is Roman Quinn and don't get me started on him. Oh my God, and the things and that's another thing too. Like our center field position is horrendous. Like we had to. Because Adam Hazley got put on the restricted list for like personal reasons. Roman Quinn just got hurt. We had to bring up Mickey Moniak. We had to do this. We got to do that. It's like, oh my God. But the thing, and people shit on Girardi. But the funny thing that he did was bringing Harper to play first. Have a 5-man infield. It's like I have never seen that before.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's the most craziest shit that I've ever seen. It's like, but they wound up getting that. It's like. And my buddy Tyler he texted me. It's like, what a genius! It's like, I was like, and I'm looking and like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like, what are we like? And that's another thing too. It's the shift. That's another thing too. I want to address in the video is the shift and how much it's killing left-handers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like,
it's a done dealer. But I mean, like you said, we can do it again and we can talk about it in another podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey Robert, I gotta head on now. I got baby crying, stuff like that, so I gotta go deal with that real quick. It was great being on your show. I was great talking to you, man. I appreciate you having me
always
here.
Hit me up for another time.
Yeah, of course, most definitely, man.
All right, I'll see you on the other side.
Have a good day, man.